Hello Bama fans! Dak Prescott says Jalen Carter was taunting the former Alabama offensive lineman before spitting on him. What's this strange subject involving a former Alabama player? Let's see what's new. If there's one thing American football always teaches us, it's that, beyond the spectacular plays on the field, the stories off it carry an emotional and human weight almost as great as the touchdowns themselves. And last Sunday, an unusual chapter involving a former Alabama player caught the attention not only of Crimson Tide fans, but of everyone who follows the NFL. The story begins with Tyler Booker, the Dallas Cowboys rookie offensive lineman, fresh out of Bama, showing the world that his transition to the professional game is more than promising. But, as with any journey, there are always those unexpected moments that end up stealing the show. Booker, a first-round draft pick by the Cowboys, had a solid debut against the Philadelphia Eagles. He faced one of the league's most aggressive defensive lines and came out practically flawless, without giving up a single sack. It was a performance that made Alabama fans proud and reaffirmed the program's tradition of developing players ready for the big stage. However, not everything was harmonious in the game. The incident involving Eagles player Jalen Carter brought to light a narrative that blends provocation, respect, and rivalry, elements that are inevitably part of the sport's DNA. It all began even before the matchup between Dak Prescott and the Cowboys took on dramatic overtones. According to Prescott himself, Carter had been trying to troll Booker since the beginning of the game. For those who have followed the young Alabama player's development, this provocation almost sounds like an indirect acknowledgement of his potential. Booker isn't just a new face on the team, he carries with him the resilient and competitive mentality that Alabama has always imposed on its athletes. And it seems that even seasoned opponents like Carter sensed it in the air. The culmination of this tension occurred when Carter was ejected after spitting on Prescott during an on-field altercation. The Cowboys quarterback, visibly upset, explained after the game that the gesture was seen as a personal provocation. He was trying to pick on Tyler Booker, Prescott said. I was there for the two offensive linemen, and I felt like I needed to spit. I wasn't going to spit on mine. I just spit in front of them. And he asked, or did he say, are you trying to spit on me? At that moment, I felt like he was insulting me. Prescott emphasized that the episode was interpreted as a lack of respect not only to him, but also to the competitive environment of the game. This is where the more human dimension of the story comes in. Booker, despite being a rookie, has already demonstrated maturity and discipline worthy of a veteran. He comes from a program where excellence is not only expected, but demanded. Under Kalen DeBoer, Alabama molded Booker to handle pressure, criticism, and even taunts without losing focus. And perhaps that's exactly what bothered Carter, seeing a rookie, still in his first NFL game, maintain his composure while being taunted. It's no secret that Alabama has a reputation for forging champions. Players like Booker are living examples of this philosophy. They don't come to the NFL just to fill positions, they come to dominate. And although Carter tried to destabilize the young player, the end result spoke for itself. Booker didn't concede a single sack, helped protect Prescott, and helped the Cowboys build a consistent offensive performance. This is what happens when someone is coached according to Alabama's principles. Taunts become fuel, not distractions. Of course, it's important to remember that rivalries like these are part of the charm of football. They create narratives, fuel debate, and, above all, humanize the players. We're not just talking about superhuman athletes chasing an oval ball, we're talking about people who, like us, face challenges, respond to challenges, and strive to prove themselves. And in this particular case, Booker's story serves as a powerful reminder that Alabama's legacy goes beyond trophies and victories. It's about preparing men to face the world with confidence and determination. With the right mindset and the support of a passionate community, he has everything it takes to become one of the most respected names in the league. Let's keep going. Alabama continues to demonstrate why it's one of the most influential and respected programs in college football. With each visit from a young talent to Tuscaloosa, it's clear that the tradition built over the past few decades still carries a different weight. The most recent example is Asa Barnes, a four-star running back in the class of 2027, who was at Bryant-Denny Stadium for the Tide's victory over Louisiana Monroe. Barnes left not only impressed, but also reaffirming something that already seemed clear: Alabama still holds a fascination that's hard to explain. The young running back, a graduate of Westview High School in Martin, Tennessee, the same school that developed quarterback Ty Simpson, described the experience as incredible. He made no secret of the fact that he's imagined himself wearing a Tide jersey since he was a child, and his speech made it clear that this emotional connection to the program could carry a lot of weight in the future. The interesting detail is that it wasn't just the Tuscaloosa environment that caught Barnes' attention. The running back highlighted the performance of the current group at the position, praising names like Jam Miller and Richard Young. He believes the unit has the potential to be the best in the country, demonstrating that Alabama's legacy of great running backs lives on. More than just a routine visit, it was an opportunity to see firsthand what the Tide offers most valuable: a combination of talent, competitiveness, and state-of-the-art infrastructure. In terms of numbers, Barnes enters this recruiting season with impressive credentials. In 2024, he accumulated 812 yards on just 94 carries and scored 25 touchdowns. He presents the classic profile of an elite running back: imposing physique, the ability to gain yards after contact, and the ability to emerge from the backfield as an option in the passing game. It's no surprise that programs like Ohio State and Ole Miss have already entered the fray, but the relationship he demonstrates with Alabama could make a difference. What strengthens this connection is the constant contact from the coaching staff led by Kalen DeBoer. Barnes made it clear that he appreciates the Tide's recruiting efforts and acknowledged the program's storied history. He said he's been following Alabama football since it began and is well aware of the team's ability to transform young prospects into NFL-ready players. This, after all, is Tuscaloosa's hallmark: more than winning games, Alabama builds careers. Barnes' visit joins a series of moves that reinforce how DeBoer and his staff are fine-tuning the recruiting process. While the Tide has always been strong in this area, the new committee demonstrates its understanding of the importance of cultivating this connection with high-level athletes from an early age. For a player like Barnes, who already feels part of this tradition even before officially committing, the impact could be decisive. For the Tide, it's further proof that the future remains promising, with new recruits being selected to become Alabama's next talent. The NFL's Buffalo Bills have just signed former Alabama defensive tackle Phidarian Mathis to their practice squad. For any Crimson Tide fan, this news is more than just a trade move in the professional league. It's a testament to the lasting impact the University of Alabama football program continues to have on the national stage. Alabama continues to develop players who not only shine on the college field but also make their mark in the NFL. Phidarian Mathis, or simply Phil as he's known to many, is a name that resonates strongly with Alabama fans. A native of Wisner, Louisiana, this giant carries not only an imposing physique but also a history of resilience and talent that took him from the prestigious Crimson Tide program to the NFL. A second-round pick of the 2022 NFL Draft by the Washington Commanders, Mathis has already shown he is what it takes to compete at the highest level. During his 3 seasons in Washington, he appeared in 23 games, racking up 25 tackles, 2 of them for loss. Solid numbers for a player who, even facing fierce NFL competition, never wavered from demonstrating the grit and discipline he learned at Alabama. But it's when we look back at his time with the Crimson Tide that Mathis's true magnitude is revealed. In his final season with Alabama, in 2021, he was simply dominant. With 53 tackles and an impressive 9 sacks, Mathis was a devastating force on the defensive line, terrorizing opposing quarterbacks and solidifying his reputation as one of the best at his position. It's no surprise that he was named to the All-SEC second team, a recognition that cemented his name among the greats of that season. For Alabama fans, seeing Mathis now with a new opportunity with the Bills is a source of pride. The Bills' signing of Mathis, announced last Wednesday, is a smart move by the Buffalo franchise. The Bills' defensive line already boasts talented names like Ed Oliver, but youth and a lack of experience on the inside are areas of concern. That's where Mathis's presence comes in. With his combination of size, strength, and experience, he offers a reliable and versatile option, especially in a scenario where injuries or inconsistencies may arise throughout the season. Mathis, with his proven ability to pressure the quarterback and close gaps against the run game, could be exactly the reinforcement Buffalo needs to solidify its defense. And for Alabama fans, it's impossible not to smile at the thought of Phil, with his Greek name meaning gift of the gods, displaying the same fire on the NFL field that made him a legend in Tuscaloosa. It's worth remembering that Mathis's journey thus far has not been without its challenges. After his stint with the Commanders, he had a brief stint with the New York Jets during the summer but didn't remain on the main roster. For many players, this could be a blow to the ego, but Mathis, molded by Alabama's culture of resilience, seems to view every obstacle as an opportunity. His arrival on the Bills' practice squad is another chapter in a career that, since his days wearing the red and white of the Crimson Tide, has always been marked by determination. For Crimson Tide fans, the news of Mathis' signing is also a reminder of the program's ongoing impact on the NFL. Year after year, Alabama sends talent to the league, and each player who steps up, like Mathis, reinforces Tuscaloosa's reputation as a true star-making factory. Phidarian Mathis, with his impressive name and even more impressive talent, now has another chance to shine with the Bills. And Bama fans will be rooting for him, and all the best to him. Leave your comments.